Hey there, guys. So, as the vast majority of you already know, and if you don't already know, you're about to, I suffer from complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And this is my little ESA right back here somewhere. One of my now two ESAs. She's just gonna kind of linger. I'm sure she'll probably whine at some point. And in my lap, who knows? Anyway, I have recognized that a lot of us suffer from this, and I guess I didn't realize how many actually were afflicted with PTSD until I became much more vocal about my own. And I've had a large number of people reach out to me in solidarity and support, and talk to me about their issues as well, and share with me some of their trials and tribulations. And what I'm also discovering is that there's quite a few of us out there that don't actually know they have PTSD, and they don't know that some of the responses and the things that they are experiencing are actual triggers. And so triggers are what I wanted to talk about today. Because you hear this "I'm triggered" shit all the time, and it makes light of what a trigger actually is. And I get so frustrated by it. It makes me want to fucking grab somebody and shake them and be like, do you know what an actual trigger is? You are triggered to get upset because you're looking to find insult in something. That's not a trigger. So, anyway, the whole point in covering this is so that maybe we can educate a few of you who are maybe supporting those with PTSD, or have friends and family who are trying to find their way through it. And sometimes you wonder why they're acting out and why they are crazy. Like, it was just a little thing. Why are you being crazy? Why are you freaking out right now? I don't understand. And in those moments, they know they're crazy. We know we're crazy. We know that what is happening and the emotional response that we are projecting isn't appropriate for the situation, but we cannot figure out why we are feeling that way. Then, as we sit in our own hell and try to discover what the source of the problem is, we become much more frustrated, because finding the source can sometimes be impossible, especially while the mind is reeling and the brain is just searching for answers. And when the brain is searching for comfort and ease. So what is a trigger? A trigger can be basically anything or anyone that has attached itself to a traumatic memory that causes us to go into a fight or flight response. We might not recognize those triggers when we're in the middle of them. We might not realize that we are searching for comfort and ease, and we are trying to put out all of these crazy emotions. And I know that in the beginning, my first trigger, the first time I had a flashback, I had no idea that's what was happening. That flashback led to a full-on nervous breakdown, because I had no idea what was going on. And the individual that I was with at the time responded about as unhealthy as you could respond in those situations. And it sent me on a spiral. When I returned to the United States, I ended up getting help and discovering that I, in fact, have not just post-traumatic stress disorder, but complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And it takes a little bit of a different form. And can lead to confusion and fear in things in everyday life that make absolutely zero sense and seem to only exacerbate the depression and the anxiety that come along with having this disorder. So, how can you recognize your triggers? For me, anytime I'm starting to feel an adrenaline drop, I'm starting to feel panicked, scared, my mind starts losing focus, I have to take a step back and ask myself if this is an appropriate response for the situation. And if it is not an appropriate response for the situation, what is causing me to feel this way? And it takes some discipline not to react on these overwhelming feelings at this time. It takes everything you have not to think that they are real, not to feel that they are real, not to feel that the entire world is after you. It's shockingly trying and challenging. But it's something that you have to practice and eventually you can master. Now, I have done a very good job over the last 18 months of controlling and mastering my visual, my sensory cues, and my sensory triggers. I'm only starting to discover small other ones as time progresses. And now my most recent discovery is an emotional trigger. I didn't know I had those. I knew I had visual triggers. I knew I had sense triggers, smell triggers. Like the smell of wet wood will send me back. An orange light in the middle of the night will send me back. There's lots of things, but I've learned to control those, and I expect those things, and I can talk myself down. An emotional trigger, however, that was a new one. That was a new one to work with. And for me, it was a feeling of abandonment. When I felt that emotion for the first time in a very, very long time, it sent me into a spiral. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't even realize I was in that spiral until it had me on the ground. Literally on the floor. I spent probably 2 days just unable to move, unable to do anything. In those 2.5-ish days, I managed to lose 8 pounds. I'm sure muscle mass was going there because I don't have a lot of fat left after all of this dieting and hard work I've been doing. And it was depleting my mental and physical state at a expedient pace. I could not get a hold of myself. Fortunately, I was able to pick my damn head off the floor long enough to get a hold of a therapist and begin talking to somebody and working through these things again, all over again. And the frustration rises back to the surface. I fucking worked on all of this already. Why aren't you healed? And it's frustrating and angering and makes you want to fight yourself. If you could fight yourself, you would. Because you're convinced you would win, and you're not wrong. But the fight isn't physical as much as you wish it was. The fight is mental. And so, know that if you are supporting or living or loving someone that is plagued with this diagnosis, know that when they are being crazy and they're acting out and they're being triggered, that they're probably doing their best to control it, and they don't know what is actually taking place. They don't know why they are stressed. They don't know why they are freaking out. They're just losing their shit. And you're there, and they don't know how to lose their shit on anyone else but you. Because they're just looking for solace and comfort. They want to know that it's going to be okay. They want to hear you say, it's going to be okay. I'm not going anywhere. It's going to be okay. You've got this. We've got this. It's going to be okay. And for those of us, you, that do suffer from this, be patient with yourself. Listen to yourself. Listen to those responses. Take your time to take them in and try to observe what it is that could have led you back there. More often than not, when I'm triggered, if I have an opportunity to observe what has just recently taken place, it will immediately and directly relate to the memory that it has taken me back to. And I'll be able to pinpoint what it is that triggered that memory, that fight or flight response, and the trauma response that comes along with it. So, I have some fucking sit-ups to do or some push-ups to do or something today. I'm going to try to do them. I really don't want to. I don't care for any physical activity today, to be completely frank with you, but it is gorgeous. And perhaps I should drive myself out to the deck and actually do some sit-ups or TRX or something. I will do some physical activity today. Hopefully you do as well. Forgive yourself if you don't, but don't make a habit of it. Signing off.